Hello everyone, welcome back to Skeledon, Bushcraft and Survival. Glad you could join me. Now, it's been raining a lot here lately. This is the raining season here. And I figured I'd go ahead and make a video on how to start a fire when it's wet. Stay tuned, I'll show you how. Alright, so starting a fire in wet conditions. The first thing that you need to do is find a good place to start one. So, I'm going to use this right here, and we need to clear out all of this debris. Anything wet, we want to clear out. We want a nice dry surface to have our fire on. Once we have that, we get dry stuff, and you can tell when you break it, you can tell. And what I do, small little pieces like this right here, I put in one pile. Thicker pieces like this right here, I put in a bigger pile. And I work it out so that I've got different sizes. And like I said, it's a strenuous thing, kind of a strenuous regiment. However, if you take the time to do it, it yields good results. All right, now that I have my 3 piles, and of course, you're wanting some logs too. Now, here in a minute, I'm going to show you, you go through the woods and find trees that are dead standing. You can cut those down and use those for your logs. But lower down on the ground, about 2 feet up from the ground, that's going to still be wet, regardless. It doesn't mean it won't burn, but it'll be harder to get started, because it's closest to the ground and it's going to have the most moisture coming up. As you go up the tree, you'll find that it starts getting drier, and you can actually use that as logs to sit on to get the fire hot enough to burn the lower stuff. Number one, you do not want to rush a fire. Let the fire catch up. If you baby a fire, then it's going to baby you. You want plenty of wind flow coming through. and you want plenty of fuel. The three things that fire needs is air, heat, and fuel. If it doesn't have enough heat, then it's not going to catch the other timbers. If it doesn't have enough air, then it's not going to spark the flame. If it doesn't have the fuel, then of course it's not going to burn anything. The reason why that I do it the way that I do it is because it just seems easier for me. A-frames are great. Tri-frames. There's several different fire lays. Just getting it started, I normally just bunch it up like that right there, and then as it builds up, then I can stack heavier stuff in whatever lay that I want. Alright, and as that builds up, then of course you start putting bigger and bigger on there until you can actually put an actual log. But it is wet out here. It just rained last night and then turned off to snow. Well, it wasn't snow, but it was frost, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And
you can still see some of it on the logs over there.
Yeah, you sure
I don't know if
can.
the camera will zoom in close on that or not.
We can walk it right down there. We can walk it right down there. And show. But as you can see, it is cold and wet. But following simple procedure, step by step, finding dry stuff, working with small, building it up, even in wet conditions, as you see, you can get a fire going. Now, it isn't always easy to do. It sometimes fights you. But if you step by step, do everything right, do the preparation before you ever get started, you're going to be successful. It may take you a little longer, but you're going to be successful. Alright, as we got here, a dead standing tree. Now, if you look up, you see how it's folded over. This right here would actually be a good log to use. The chances of snow or any kind of water rolling down in it is slimmer because the top isn't broken off, it's just folded off and then it grows funny. The bark that's on this is good firewood too, good fire starter. In order to use this for a fire starter, you would just scrape and use that for smaller tinder to get it started. So as you peel off, you see, and this right here, if you get inside the center, that's dry. That's completely dry. So this would be good for firewood. This over here This right here, on the other hand, this is wet. The bark is already peeled off of it. It's broken up at top. This is a dead standing tree, but it's wet. And so would it work? If the fire's big enough, yeah. But start out a fire? No. It wouldn't be a good choice. So when you're looking for dead standing trees, you're wanting to find one that has not been broken up at top, still has its limbs, and the bark is falling off of it at the lower end. This is falling up here, so this is wet. Even right there, you can tell that it's wet. Even getting into the core of it, which I'm not really in the core, but that just shows how deep you'd have to go in order to be able to get anything dry out of this one. This one has had plenty of time for water to come down and moisturize the entire tree. But you can find a whole bunch of dead standing trees all over the place. There's one right back behind us, right here. One we just got through looking at. And there's one actually somewhere else. I gotta come back and see. Yeah, right there. There's two of them sitting side by side. Dead standing trees. Finding firewood is really easy out in the woods. It's just knowing what to look for and how hot the fire has to be in order to be able to cook it. Like this one right here that I just showed you. It's wet, but if the fire's hot enough and it's already going good, you could split that up and put that on there, and it will burn. The moisture will evaporate away and the tree itself will burn. That tree over there, this right here, on the other hand, not good for firewood at all. That fire would have to be extremely hot in order to be able to burn away the moisture and be able to burn this over. Seeing how big that was around, it's rotted to the core. So, like I said, knowing what to look for and getting the experience to do it. If I've made things look easy in the past, this and that, whatever, it's not easy. It takes practice. And the things that I've shown that just seems easy for me is because I've done it 1,000 times over again and I just know what to expect. That's it. But knowing the fundamentals can really help out a long way. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next one.